On a day when Erling Haaland wasn't on the team sheet, Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden didn't score, Manchester City still managed to secure a narrow victory against Chelsea to advance to the FA Cup final. The only goal was scored by a name that has often come to the rescue of the blue side of Manchester in dire situations, none other than Bernardo Silva. Just a few days earlier, the Portuguese midfielder faced criticism for his casual penalty kick against Real Madrid, but considering that he rarely gets a chance to take penalties, it's understandable that Bernardo Silva opted for a safe approach by targeting the center of the goal. Yet it was the 29-year-old midfielder who stepped up, emerging from criticism to shine, directly guiding the citizens to the final match of this year's FA Cup season. There's no debate. Bernardo Silva is one of the top technical players in the Premier League, if not the world. Born in 1994, this midfielder stands out for his dribbling, one-on-one skills, and his ability to handle the ball in tight spaces with remarkable finesse. Not only does he impress when on the ball, but Bernardo Silva's passing that creates opportunities for his teammates is also sensitive and precise. Although Silva has occasionally shown interest in Barcelona, and Pep has admitted that players wishing to leave would not stay at Etihad after Jesus and Zinchenko moved to Arsenal, Guardiola made it clear that Man City needed Silva to stay when asked about him. It's rare to see someone as stubborn as Pep Guardiola be so accommodating to a player, which speaks volumes about the 29-year-old midfielder's exceptional skill and his importance to Pep's system at Manchester City. He's one of the smallest players in the Premier League at the moment, but don't let that deceive you. Silva ranks among the players with the most playing time for Manchester City this season, with over 3,100 minutes on the field. He rarely shows signs of fatigue, even though he plays in a team that requires constant movement and pressing. Silva's goal scoring and assist numbers might not lead the Premier League or Champions League, but when it comes to intelligence, adaptability, and consistency, Silva is unparalleled. De Bruyne's injury early in the season was a major challenge for Pep, but he put his trust in Bernardo Silva, and the coach probably wasn't disappointed with his little magician. The question arises, if Silva's assist and goal numbers aren't on par with De Bruyne's, what does he excel at? First, it's his ball progression. He often drops deep, allowing him to advance the ball more than in previous years. On average, he moves the ball forward by nearly 200 meters per match through his passes, which is 1.4 times more than his best season in 2019-2020. According to Opta, any pass over 30 meters is considered a long pass, and Silva has completed nearly 90% of his long passes this season, his best record in his 7 seasons at Etihad. More importantly, these long passes create opportunities. With 4 instances of creating chances, Silva has proven his value in De Bruyne's absence. The skill Silva has improved the most this season is ball recovery and tackling. In every match involving the Portuguese midfielder, he successfully retrieves the ball 3 times and tackles successfully twice every 90 minutes, with an accuracy rate of approximately 60%. When it comes to intelligence, adaptability, and consistency in Manchester City's lineup, few can match Bernardo Silva. The Portuguese player possesses perfect skills for a winger with agility and trickery in one-on-one situations against opposing defenders. When placed as a central midfielder, Silva's ability to distribute and control the tempo is equally clear. His versatility extends to his playing style, just as his technical skill does. Although his preferred position is number 8, Silva has played almost every position on the field, from forward, winger, central midfielder, and even left back. Silva himself mentioned to the press when he signed with Man City, "I don't even know where Pep will place me. I usually play as a midfielder, but in the last 2 years, I've moved to the wing more often and even dropped deeper into midfield. Sometimes I play near Fernandinho and now Rodri. As long as I can help the team, I'll play anywhere Pep asks." Silva has never refused any opportunity to contribute his skills. This season isn't the first time Silva has played in his usual number 8 position, but it might be the first season where he feels the midfield lineup at Man City is built around him. Without De Bruyne, Silva is the one expected to take on the tasks that the Belgian star would usually perform. In a match against Manchester United last October, Man City scored from Silva's wing attack, after which he sent a precise cross for Haaland to head in a goal. Surely this scenario was in Pep's plan, as they had executed a similar play earlier. Another example was during City's wild draw with Chelsea in the Premier League. It was a game emphasizing endurance and pressure, and Silva performed best. His dexterity and ability to maneuver due to a low center of gravity allowed him to receive and control the ball under Chelsea players' pressure before initiating an attack. Moreover, Silva's ability to switch to the opposite flank surprised opponents several times this season. Of course, no player is flawless, and Bernardo Silva is no exception. Although he's nimble, quick, and agile, his physical strength and size can be a weakness. Sometimes he struggles against defenders with a more physical style and is at a disadvantage in aerial duels. However, the beauty of Silva's game is that he knows how to maximize his strengths and minimize his weaknesses. Bernardo Silva is undoubtedly a key component in Pep's gameplay. Despite not having the physical dominance of Haaland, the passing accuracy of De Bruyne, or the speed of Jeremy Doku. His style of play might not make headline news, but when it comes to intelligence, adaptability to tactical systems, and consistency, Silva is unmatched. The Portuguese player himself acknowledges that his style doesn't rely heavily on physicality. In an interview with the Empire in 2019, Bernardo Silva stated, "When Guardiola's Barcelona era began, watching players like Messi, Iniesta, and Xavi gave me strength to continue. Barcelona was the best team in the world, and 3 of their top players were almost smaller than me. The most important thing in football is the mind, where players make decisions." Coincidentally, after a 6-1 victory over Bournemouth earlier in the season, Pep Guardiola didn't hesitate to compare Silva with Lionel Messi. Silva is an extraordinary player. He scored 2 excellent goals. His second goal resembled Messi, who did that many times. When asked if Silva was among the best players in the Premier League or Europe, the Spanish coach replied, "He's one of the best in the world. I've said this many times. Maybe I praise Silva too much, but he deserves it." Even though Pep believes Silva is the best player in the world, there are some limitations. The constant need to play for both his club and the national team has somewhat taken a toll on Silva in recent seasons. He's 29, and the last 2 years have seen 4 different injuries since he turned professional. From the 2013-2014 season to 2022-2023, Silva only missed 3 matches due to injury, but in the last 2 seasons, he's had to sit out 4 times due to various issues. 7 seasons with Man City have proven he's a pillar of the team, but if injuries continue to plague him, Pep will have to rethink their strategy when the citizens don't have him in the lineup. Just like most players arriving at Man City and working with Pep Guardiola, Bernardo Silva initially faced considerable challenges in competing for a starting spot. He often found himself on the bench, coming on as a substitute. Nonetheless, with his resilience, determination, and disciplined training attitude, Bernardo Silva gradually gained Pep's trust and became an essential part of Etihad's roster. Silva's diligence and focus during every game stand out. The Portuguese player was deployed in a deeper role during the Manchester derby late last year. Pep is proud to constantly adjust his position depending on who the opponent is. Number 20 can play as a traditional central midfielder, a number 10 on the left flank, or even lower as he demonstrated in the 3-1 victory against Arsenal last season. His versatility is not just about his multiple roles, it's also because Silva consistently works hard every week. No Man City player ran more kilometers per game than Silva in last year's Premier League season, and he also topped the list of players who won the ball back in the attacking area more than any other player in the Champions League. I believe that regardless of your position, everyone defends and attacks, so at different positions, you must defend differently, Bernardo said after the 3-0 win against Bayern Munich in the Champions League quarterfinal first leg last April. Even if you're a forward, a left winger, or an attacking midfielder, you need to do your job properly to help the team defend. Bernardo's hard work isn't just reflected in numbers. Coach Pep Guardiola shared with the media, "Bernardo is truly special. He doesn't wear any earrings, has no tattoos, drives a normal car. He's an amazing player for us. Bernardo is humble, and everyone in the locker room loves him. We were afraid of losing him because this position is irreplaceable." You can see how much Silva means to his teammates. During an interview with Sky Sports with Haaland, the Norwegian striker remarked, This guy is really impressive. I love him just like Pep loves him. After reaching the FA Cup final and aiming for another Premier League title, there's high hope that Bernardo Silva will help the citizens secure more trophies by the end of this season. And that's the story of Bernardo Silva, the small magician from the reigning EPL champions Manchester City. Thank you for watching this episode of Decoding the Stars. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give us a like, share, and subscribe to support the team. Goodbye, and see you in the next program.